Hello students, I am Professor Prakash Naik, HOD of BCA Department and Jammu Institute of Management and Computer Application Medical. In today's session, we shall do a lab program on numerical and statistical method of BCA second semester, Karnataka University, Dharwad. The title of the program is Program to Construct a Continuous Frequency Distribution Table for the given data and find mean and standard deviation. Before I start the program, I'd like you to explain how the program works or what is a manual way of working with the problem. So here I have a class interval. You can see here 10 is the lower limit and 60 is the upper limit. So the number of observations is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means n is equal to 5. N is the number of observations. 10 is the lower limit, 60 is the upper limit. And you can see here, there is a difference of 10 values, which is called width. You can see here 10 to 20. What's the difference? 10 difference. 20 to 30. How much? 10 difference. 30 to 40. 40 to 50, 50 to 60. That means the width of the class interval is 10. So once this class interval has been entered, next we need to input the frequency. You can see here the frequencies is mentioned here as 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 assumption. So now 2 plus 3, 5, 5 plus 4, 9, 9 plus 5, 14, 14 plus 6, 20. So sum of this frequency is 20. This is sum f, that is sum frequency. So once this class interval has been found out, once the frequency has been entered, the next part is to find the value of x. Because to find the standard deviation and the mean formula is summation of fx divided by sum of frequency. So that means I have to find fx. But before I found fx, I need the value of x. So how to find the value of x? Here we are, x. So what is here is the midpoint of the class interval is x. You can see a 10 plus 20, 30. 30 divided by 2, 15. Got it. 10 plus 30, 50. 50 divided by 2, 25. So here you got it. 30 plus 40 is 70. 70 divided by 2 is 35. 40 plus 50 is 90. 90 divided by 2 is 45. 50 plus 60, the total is 110. 110 divided by 2 is 55. So here we have understood that to find the value of x, we have to find the midpoint of the lower and upper limit of the class interval. So what is x2? x2 is the square of x. So 15 to 15, 225. 25 into 25, 625. 35 into 35, 1225. 45 into 45, 2025. 55 into 85, 3025. So once this is found out, I need to find fx. How to find fx? Frequency multiplied by the value of x. You can see it, fx. 2 into 15, 30. 3 into 25, 75. 4 into 35, 140. 5 into 45, 225. 6 into 55 is 30. Now, I need one more column called as fx2. fx2, that is f multiplied by x2 here. So here it is. What is that? 2 into 225. How much it is? 450. 3 into 625. How much it is? 1875. 4 into 1225, 4900. 5 into 2025, 10,125. 6 into 3025 is 18,150. Now when I add this fx2, I get sum of fx2. When I add this fx, I get sum of fx. Now it's very clear that to find the mean, we have to divide this 800 by 20. Here it is. Mean equal to summation of fx. What is summation of fx? 800. Divided by summation of f. What is summation by f? 20. So 800 divided by 20, how much you'll get? You'll get 40. Now I need to find the standard deviation. The formula to find the standard deviation is summation of fx2, that is 35,500, divided by summation of f, that is 20. Right? Now what value we get here minus mean square is 40 square. Right? That value, that is 175. What value we get? That is variation value we get is 175. Square root of 175 will be 13.22, which is the standard deviation. Okay, now this is the basics of this standard deviation. Now let us learn how to write a program for this, how to implement this within a program. So let us begin with. So very first thing is I need two main header files, hash include stdio.h, hash include math.h. Node.h can also use conio.h. So math.h is used to find the power and to find the square root. To find the standard deviation. Okay, now let me come to the main program. So every C program has a main function. Now this main function return type is void. This is and beginning of main function, this is the end of main function. That means what? The open curly brace indicates the beginning of the function and close curly brace indicates the end of the function. Okay. Now within this function, I need to declare the variables. So what all variables I need? First is I need n. What is n? Number of observations. How many values you want? For example, I'll give 5. Now I have to count from 1 to 5. For that, I need one more variable name. So here I have n, I. So two variables of type integer. One is n and one is I. Okay, moving further, I need to declare an array x. Maximum elements are given as 20. One part. I need to declare an array x2. Maximum elements 20 again. I need to declare f of frequency. Maximum elements 20. I need to declare fx. Maximum elements 20. I need to declare fx2. Maximum elements 20. I need to declare ci, class interval. Maximum elements 20. Right? Then frequency 20. Sum fx equal to 0 initially. Sum fx2 equal to 0 initially. Then I have am for arithmetic mean, var for variance, st for standard deviation. Okay, this part is clear. So here we have declared all the required variables. Now CLR SCR, what this will do? This will make the entire screen blank and cursor will come to the first row of the screen. There, I want to show something on the computer screen. I want to prompt something to the user. And here it is, printf, enter number of observations. So on the computer screen, a message is prompted saying enter number of observations. So what you will do? You will type a value. Assume that you have given 5. That 5 will go and store to the variable name n here. Now, when that is over, now it will ask enter the lower and upper limit. That means here I need two values, lower limit and upper limit for the class interval. So let me assume I have given the first number as 10 and the second number as 60. So this 10 will be stored to LL, lower limit, and 20 will be stored to, 60 will be stored to UL, that is upper limit. Okay. Now I need one more input, that is width. Enter width of the class interval. On the computer screen, a message is prompted saying, enter the width of the class interval. Assume that I have given 10 again, right? So this value 10 will be stored to width. This part is over. Okay. That means the difference of lower limit and the upper limit should be of 10. This is what the width means. Okay, now let's proceed. Now, initially what I have said is Ci of 0, because when Ci array has been declared, so since it is given as 20, what will happen? It will take from 0 to 19. The first index is 0. So Ci of 0 is equal to LL. What was the value of LL? 10. In Ci of 0, what is stored? 10 is stored. Okay, that part is over. Next, I need to find the upper limit now. So for this, what I am doing is I am using a loop. For I equal to 0, I is less than UL, I plus plus. So until the value of I reaches the value of UL, it proceeds. Let us see now. Ci of I plus 1 is equal to Ci of I plus width. What is Ci of I? Ci of 0. What is Ci of 0? 10. What is the width? 10. 10 plus 10? 20. 20 will be stored to Ci of I plus 1. That is 0 plus 1. In Ci of 1, what is stored? 20 is stored. Okay. Now it goes back to the loop. Value of I increases. Value of I becomes 1. Again checks. Is I less than equal to UL? Yes. Comes down. Ci of I plus 1. This time it is 1 plus 1, 2. In Ci of 2, what is stored? Ci of I plus width. What was Ci of I? Ci of I was 20. 20 plus 1, so 20 plus 10, how much? 30. 30 is stored to Ci of I plus 1, that is Ci of 2. Okay. Then this goes on and all the values of n will be stored to an array. So up to 5 values, so it will be 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50 and 50 to 60. There where the loop ends. So now a message is prompted on the screen saying enter frequency. So I need to input the frequency. So how many frequencies I need? The n value was 5, that means 5 frequency I need to input. So I equal to 0. Is I less than n? Yes, I less than 5 comes here. So it waits for your input. Assume that you have given 2. 2 is stored to f of I is f of 0. So in f of 0 is stored, 2 is stored. Goes back to the loop. I increases. I becomes 1. Comes here in between. Checks. Is the value of I less than n? Yes, 1 is less than 5. Again comes down. So again takes the second number. For example, I given 3. Where does the 3 store? F of I, that is f of 1. Again goes back. So like this, it takes 5 values. Let me assume the numbers are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So class interval entry is over. Frequency entry is over. Now, the next part is, I want to show in this manner. now. You can see here printf Ci. So here Ci is printed. Slash T F. So a gap is printed, then F is printed. Again slash T. Again from the cursor from here jumps here. X is printed. Slash T X2. So X2 is printed. Slash T Fx. Fx is printed. Slash T Fx2. So as per this line, this is the output you got. Now below this, I want to show those input values now. Let's see how it works. For I equal to 0, okay, I less than n, that means 0 to 5. Printf percentage d dash percentage d CIF I, that is CIF 0. What was CIF 0? 10. So here 10 is printed. Comma CIF I plus 1, that is CIF 1. What is CIF 1? 20. So here 20 is printed. Okay. Then next line. Printf slash t. It comes here. Okay. Percentage d f of I. What was f of I? 2. So 2 is printed here. Simultaneously, I want to add these values to sum f. So sum f was initially how much? 0. 0 is equal to 0 plus f of I, that is f. That is 2. So 0 plus 2 is 2. In sum f, what is stored? 2 is stored. Now coming to this x. X of I is equal to CIF I, that is 10, plus CIF I plus 1, that is 20. How much it is? 30 divided by 2 is stored to CIF I, that is CIF 0. So what is 10 plus 20, 30 divided by 2, 15 is stored to CIF 0. So here the 15. You can see a printf x of I, print CIF 15. Okay, then right to that, what do we have? We have x2. So how do you find x2 here? Here we have x2 of I is equal to x of I. What is x of I? 15 into x of I. 15 into 15. How much it is? 225 is stored to x2 of I. And here we have printf x2 of I. So here 225 is printed. That part is over. Now fx. Fx of I is equal to f of I. What was f of I? 2. Into x of I. What is x of I? 15. 2 into 15? 30. 30 is stored to fx of I as fx of 0. Printf fx of I. So how much is printed here? 30 is printed. Okay. Then next line. What do you have? fx2 of I is equal to f of I. What is f of I? 2. Into x2 of I. What is x2 of I? 225. How much it is? 450 is stored to fx2 of I. Printf fx2 of I. What it prints? It prints 40. So here one particular row of information is printed here. Now it goes back to the loop. When it goes back to the loop, value of I increases. Value of I becomes how much? 1. Again comes here, checks. Is value of I less than n? Yes. Comes here. Printf percentage d dash percentage d c of I. This time what is c of I? C of I is 20. C of I plus 1. How much it is? 30. Here we are. 20 dash 30. Okay. Printf f of I. F of I was how much? F of 1. F of 1 was how much? It is 3. So here it is 3. Sum f is equal to sum f plus f of I. It was earlier it was 2. 2 plus 3. How much? 5. Comes here. C of I is equal to Ci of I, that is 20, plus Ci of I plus 1, that is 30. How much it is? 50 divided by 2. How much? 25. So here after printing x of I 25, here it will say 25. Then x2 of I is equal to x of I into x of I. What was x of I? 25. 25 into 25? 625. 625 is stored to x2 of 1. So here x2 of 1 here is printed. Then fx of I is equal to f of I into x of I. What is f of I? 2. Right? What is x of I? 25. How much it is? 75. So fx of I, what is printed? 75 is printed. fx2 of I is equal to f of I into x2 of I. What is f of I? 3. What is x2 of I? 625. What is the value? 1875. Again goes back to the loop. This process goes on and we get all the values are printed. Simultaneously, the frequency value is totaled, the fx value is totaled, and fx2 value is also totaled. So with this, all this totaling and printing of the distribution table is done. Now we need to find mean. To find the mean, what is required? Here it is. AM is equal to sum fx. What is sum fx? Here it is 800. Divided by sum f. It is 20. 800 divided by 20. So what is stored in AM? 40 is stored. Printf AM. So what it prints? Mean is equal to, it prints percentage point 2 f AM. So here we got 40. So now what is the remaining is? The remaining is standard deviation. Let us see. So before I find the standard deviation, let me find the variance. Variance is equal to sum fx2. What is sum fx2? 35,500. Divided by sum f. How much it is? 20. Right? So 35,500 divided by 20 will give you 1,775 minus square of arithmetic mean AM into AM. So 40 into 40. How much it is? 1,600. So 1,775 minus 1,600, it is 175 is the variance. Now this variance square root we need to find out. So I'll find the square root by using sqrt function and store to SD, where SD is a variable to hold square root. And the value of SD I'll going to print. So here we get 13.22. So this is the end of my program. Thanks for watching my video. Let us meet in the next video. Thank you.